The energy you give off is the energy you receive. I really think that's so. I'm always myself, jumping, dancing, singing around, trying to cheer everybody up. Women are what completely inspire me, and they have also been my downfall. I like to be goofy. I like to make people laugh. I like to have a good time as much as possible. I've started doing yoga and meditation, but I'm not very good at that kind of thing and turning my brain off. Victoria's Secret is really about celebrating women and what they stand for, the strength. I love comfort. Comfort is very key to me because I spend most of my time in very uncomfortable things, so it's all about trainers and flats. Singing, writing songs is kind of my biggest fear, but it's the thing I feel I need to conquer. I like to keep my private life private. As a kid, I got teased about my unibrow. Now I love my brows. I grew up in the upper class, for sure. My family was kind of about that whole parties and horse racing thing. I can understand it's fun for some. I never enjoyed it. I want to behave more like a boy. I want to be the strong one. I love figuring out a stranger, sitting down and learning about their loves and struggles and everything. People are my jam. I think it's nice to break down that barrier that models are seen and not heard. I treat the camera like a person. I gaze into it. Photos are a flat thing, and you need to put life into them. At fashion shows, my brows often get bleached, and they've been dyed back much darker, like jet black, where you can't even see my skin. Sometimes with just for men, what a mistake. At times, the two brows aren't even the same color. I got a tattoo saying, "Made in England" above my foot to represent that I felt like a doll for so long. I wish my school days could have dragged on a little longer, or that I could go back and do it later in life. As a child, I used gay as a bad word, as in, "That's so gay." All my friends did. The thrill of acting is making a character real. Modeling is the opposite of real. It's being fake in front of the camera. Working with Mario Testino was a joy. He's very young, spirited, and it's always lovely and a pleasure to spend time talking to him about all different things. I like fashion, but I love music and film. They are my two passions. I would love to pursue my acting and my love of music more than anything. I'm a world-class beatboxer. You should hear the noises I can make with my mouth. I wanted to be a Disney Channel star. I wanted to be Hannah Montana. I want to make music. I want to act. I want to sing. I want to do something that doesn't make my skin erupt. I had no interest in fashion when I was younger. I was such a tomboy. That's what I've wanted to do my whole life, just act. When I was younger, I loved to entertain people. I always used to make up dance routines, do little plays. I love to perform, basically. My dream is to go spend a week on some island with no phone. I've always wanted to do a shoot with snakes, big snakes like pythons. When I was really small, my mother had difficulty keeping me dressed, as I like to be naked. I definitely had very strong ideas on what I wanted to wear. My favorite look was always Action Man and Spider-Man. Now though, I really like beautiful clothes. I like a little bit of designer with a bit of vintage and high street mixed in. I love it when you find those one-off key pieces, which end up becoming investment pieces. If I was rich enough, I would love to launch my own record label. I would love to try and give all my musically talented friends a start in the industry. I love to beatbox and have been doing it before I even knew what it was. Ooh, I'd love to be in a movie with Meryl Streep or Martin Scorsese. There are so many different things I want to do, maybe like a possessed child or an evil something. I don't know. Fame, do I like it? No, it has bought a lot for me in my career, but there are a lot of downsides to it. You give up your privacy. I did it to myself, but not to my family and friends. You don't ask for it. You just have to live with it. I want to fall in love. I think I've never. I know everyone I know's been in love or in relationships now, and there's been people telling me they love me, but it freaks me out, and I just run. I think I'm a bad girlfriend. If I am able to carry on modeling, I'll be very happy to, but my passion is definitely in music and acting. I would love to do what Meryl Streep is doing. her or Judi Dench, or maybe Charlize Theron as well. Of course, I love the Spice Girls. I loved Jerry and Baby. But who liked Posh Spice? They said I looked like her, and I said, that's not cool. That's really mean. Kids should speak to each other. They're horrid to each other online. They bully each other. They should shut up and stop it. The problem with social media is there is too much freedom. It's too much too young. It's hard finding people you trust or who aren't going to take your money. Everyone wants to get a piece of whatever you're doing. It's a nightmare. When I was younger, I liked money, the feel of it. I would sit with my dad and count his coins and be like, yeah, I'd saved 700 pounds by the age of 10. I thought, what the hell am I hoarding this for? So I bought a drum kit. You never realize that you have an impact on people's lives. There are so many girls that go through so many problems and who come to me. I really try and take time to speak to as many people as possible. I have a great support network, my family, my model agency, Storm, and people I work with in the fashion industry. And of course, there are all my followers on Twitter who stop me from feeling lonely. I love them all. They keep me grounded. I always wake up 10 minutes before I have to be anywhere. I fall asleep everywhere. Someone recently asked if they could publish a book of pictures of me sleeping because there are so many. I love acting. I do it as a hobby. If I was able to have that as a career, hopefully the fashion thing is a stepping stone. I was so worried when I started modeling that it would hinder my chances of acting. I'd love to work with Tarantino, Scorsese, Sofia Coppola, all of them. I love thrillers and action movies. I love good horror films. I watched them so much when I was younger that I find it impossible to get scared. I just wanted to be like J-Lo when I started. The last thing I want to be is a model/actress, but I love actress/musicians. I can't sleep in the evenings. Most of the pictures people see of me are me going to work, events, a Fendi dinner one night, a Prada dinner the next, and working all day. At school, I was a tomboy, and it would be me and all my guy friends. I'm quite surprised that nobody has asked me to do my own line of tweezers. I totally would love to do that. Or like mascara, CARA's mascara. I always feel that life can teach you how to act. I'm always looking at life through other people's eyes by feeling empathy, and I do feel that I am constantly learning. Psoriasis is an autoimmune disease, and I'm sensitive. As a model, I really stand for not being a model, if that makes sense. When I started, the whole idea of the model was very different. It was a bit stuck up, not stuck up, but no one was trying to have fun, or not even have fun, but be willing to smile. I get a lot of girls who say, I just want to be a model so badly, and I think you can do better than that. I mean, look, I do love it. I'm not saying anything bad about it. I just think you can do a lot more. The best therapy is actually the more aggressive kind. When they break, you open, they unleash you. I love curves. I'm all about curves. I don't have many, which is really sad, but I think the more the better. There's a really easy way of just kind of wearing makeup, but looking like there's nothing on your face. I'm still not very good at it, and I'm learning slowly. My sexuality is not a phase. I am who I am. The thing is, if I ever found a guy I could fall in love with, I'd want to marry him and have his children. And that scares me to death because I think I'm a whole bunch of crazy, and I always worry that a guy will walk away once he really, truly knows me. I'm no method actor. I've tried staying in character, and it's just exhausting. I started modeling when I was 16. The odds were against me. At 5'8", I was shorter than most girls in the business. Still, I gave it a shot, and like with most things in my life, I never gave up. When you're coming from a place of living just to work, it's never as good as you want it to be. It's never as authentic. I never really thought about modeling. It wasn't something I ever wanted to do. I used to always be so angry about modeling. I love talking to my friends at uni and seeing what they are doing. They're just finishing their dissertations, and I kind of wish I could live their life for a second. I wish my school days could have dragged on a little longer, or that I could go back and do it later in life. When you are clinically diagnosed with depression as a teenager, sometimes people don't understand it. You feel like you should be happy, especially when you have a very lucky upbringing and you blame yourself. It's strong to be vulnerable. To be able to communicate with other women is one of the most powerful things. I need to be able to be at a gig and just put my bag on the floor and not worry about it being stood on or getting ruined. You want a bag that can go through anything, and a little bit of softness is always lovely. If I don't have a dog, I can just pet my bag. Once I find a bag that I love, I wear it always. I just don't change my bags. I literally find one and stay with it. I've always been a bit of an inventor, just making up weird things people haven't thought of before. I can't tell you exactly what though, because they might actually happen one day. I want to explore the world properly, to be able to write about and take pictures of all kinds of different cultures, just be an explorer or adventurer. I also love extreme sports. I never do anything to my hair. I just wash it. It tends to get dry, so I just try to put good, natural oils in it. I do a deep conditioning mask, which is quite good. With acting, the last thing you do is try to look pretty. Modeling actually makes acting harder. It makes you so self-aware. When you have balance in your life, work becomes an entirely different experience. There is a passion that moves you to a whole new level of fulfillment and gratitude. And that's when you can do your best for yourself and for others. Cara DELEVINGNE, born August 12, 1992 in Hammersmith, London. Her parents are property developer Charles DELEVINGNE and his wife Pandora Stevens. She grew up in Belgravia, London, with two older sisters, including Poppy DELEVINGNE, and a paternal half-brother. She has 16 godparents. Among them are actress Joan Collins, Eden Provost, and former Condé Nast International President Sir Nicholas Coleridge, and Annette Scruff Howard from Howard family. DELEVIGNE's maternal grandfather was publishing executive and English Heritage Chairman Sir Jocelyn Stevens. Her paternal grandmother was Hon Angela DELEVIGNE, and her maternal grandmother was Jane Armine Sheffield, herself a granddaughter of Berkeley Sheffield, 6th Baronet, Sir Lionel Fodell Phillips, 3rd Baronet, and Armine Gordon of Huntley, of Clan Gordon, as well as a descendant of the House of De Vere through Sheffields, the House of Orange-Nassau, French kings and Anglo-Norman kings. Furthermore, Jane Sheffield was a lady-in-waiting to Princess Margaret. DELEVIGNE attended the independent Bedales School in Steep, Hampshire from 2003 to 2009. She has dyspraxia and found school challenging. Cara DELEVIGNE is an English model and actress. She signed with Storm Management after leaving school in 2009. DELEVIGNE won Model of the Year at the British Fashion Awards in 2012 and 2014, and has also received 3 Teen Choice Awards and nominations for a British Independent Film Award and an MTV Movie and TV Award. DELEVIGNE had her first modeling job at age 10 in an editorial shot by Bruce Weber for Vogue Italia alongside model Lady Eloise Anson. She signed with Storm Management in 2009. She worked in the industry for a year before booking a paying job and went through 2 seasons of castings before landing her first runway show. DELEVIGNE was scouted by Burberry's Christopher Bailey in 2012. While working part-time in the office of a fashion website, Bailey cast her in the company's spring or summer 2011 campaign. DELEVIGNE's first catwalk appearance was at the February 2011 London Fashion Week, walking for the Burberry Prorsum A/W collection. Later that year, she opened and closed the Burberry Prorsum Second per Second 2012 collection. She commenced the early 2012 season by walking in the Chanel Haute Couture Spring Show at the Grand Palais. New York Fashion Week was the first of the Big 4 fashion weeks, where DELEVIGNE walked in 9 shows for fashion houses including Jason Wu, Rag & Bone, Cocoon, Donna Karan, Tory Burch, Oscar de la Renta, and Carolina Herrera. During London Fashion Week, she exclusively walked for the Burberry Prorsum Women's Wear or W 2012 show. She walked in 6 shows during the Milan Fashion Week and walked for Fendi, Trussardi, Moschino, Blue Marine, D2, and Dolce & Gabbana. Paris Fashion Week was the final week of Fashion Month, in which she walked in 7 shows for Nina Ricci, Sonia Rykiel, Cacharel, Stella McCartney, Paul & Joe, Kenzo, and Chanel. DELEVIGNE started her acting career with a minor role in the 2012 film adaptation of Anna Karenina by Joe Wright. Her most notable roles include Margot Roth Spiegelman in the romantic mystery film Paper Towns 2015, the Enchantress in the comic book film Suicide Squad 2016, and Laureline in Luc Besson's Valerian and the City of 8,000 Planets 2017.